Oh, Lord have mercy. What is going on, guys? Lee Sanders here from the RCWR show. This is not about me right now. I got to tell you, I am in a very emotional state right now, and I've had to stop a couple of times before I hit the live button because I actually was in tears over this news. So you're not seeing my face right now because I don't want you guys to see me possibly wiping away any tears and all that. But some sad breaking news in the world of sports. Very sad news in the world of NBA as we lost a good one here. You're reading the thumbnail, you know what's going on. This is not a hoax. I wish that this was a cruel joke that somebody was playing on everybody, but it is legit. Kobe Bryant dead at the age of 41. Very shocking. Still, a lot of information is coming in, and folks, I got to be honest with you all. I don't think we're going to have all the information that we need today. That is a well-known fact. It is going to take at least a couple of weeks before we really know what was the cause of all of this. But this has to be one of the blackest days that I can recall in quite some time as far as major athletes, celebrity dying and everything. To hear that Kobe Bryant is dead, you know, first thing you're going is, you know, what the hell? How? Why? When? Like, well, what the hell? And, you know, this was crazy because for me, as some of you guys know that are longtime listeners, you check out the show and everything, you know that what we're doing right now for Sunday of January 26, 2020, we're pretty much gearing up for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view and everything. You know, we're going to be doing a post show on it. And so, yeah, I'm kicking back probably a little bit before 3 o'clock, and I'm just browsing TV, checking out some stuff on the DVR, trying to figure out what I'm going to watch next. And I'm actually interacting with some of my friends in Discord, and I get a private message that says, "Hey man, did you hear what happened with Kobe?" I'm going, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Kobe's dead." I'm like, "What?" And so the first thing I did, as I always do when I'm trying to figure out if something is accurate, I do a Bing search. I trust Bing more than Google. And not to do a long drawn out story, but you guys probably are aware of this, but maybe you guys aren't. Sadly, when you type in stuff in a Google search, like let's say there was a movie that you were really interested in that you hadn't seen in many years and you're interested in buying it again. Long story short, Google spies on you, like the cookies and all that, they spy on you. So you will constantly from then on out, even if you don't end up buying that particular item, you'll constantly on whatever site you're on, you'll see ads pertaining to that, right? I don't like that, right? So I always stick with something like, you know, Firefox is good, but I mainly stick with Bing. Not to mention you can redeem the points and everything. But I do a Bing Google search. I didn't see anything. The one time I decided to do a Google search, I didn't see anything about Kobe passing. I'm going, what the hell? And then I look on Twitter, and I see that TMZ actually had reported that Kobe Bryant died. TMZ was the very first. And so you can't help but by instincts, especially if you have seen TMZ stories over the years and it turns out they're bogus stories. You're looking at, okay, so TMZ is the only one that is reporting this. Like, come on, man, that's got to be a crock of bullshit. Come on, we need the Associated Press. We need ESPN. Right? You know, where's the usual suspects that we've come to know and love covering the world of sports, right? Stephen A. Smith and all them. You know, where are these guys? Skip Bayless, you know, where are all these guys that can, with their proper connections, yeah, I can confirm that this did in fact go down, right? And like, you didn't see anything for probably about 45 minutes, but then slowly but surely you started to see ABC affiliates. You started to see NBC affiliates, You even started to see ESPN, reputable reporters. Adam, his last name starts with a W. I'm not going to even try to pronounce it because I always butcher his last name. But you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. That guy even jumped out there and, hey, we can now confirm that. And so you're going, wow. But it's still so fucking surreal and you just can't believe it. Now, look, if you guys are coming to me for the first time, you're hearing this news, look, I don't get no joy out of this. I'm not even monetizing this shit. This is, as far as I'm concerned, what's going on right now. This is therapy for us all. And I will be reading what you guys are saying in the chat. But this is like therapy for us all right now because we all need to make sense out of what the fuck just happened, right? All right, but in case you missed it, right? Earlier this morning, by TMZ, by their own account, earlier this morning, Kobe Bryant had died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas Sunday morning. Calabasas is out in California. Kobe was traveling. It's being reported. Hopefully there's no other victims involved here, but Kobe was traveling with at least 3 other people. All right. So you got Kobe, 3 other people. So that's 4. Now, what I wonder is, including the pilot, does that make it 4, or including the pilot, would that make it 5 people? That's what I'm kind of wondering right there as far as the official number, right? But it looks like at least 5 are confirmed dead. So again, Kobe and 3 other people. So if 5 people are dead, then you're kind of under the impression, well, maybe that 5th person or person 4 and 5 were the pilots. I'll say 1. We're speculating here, right? But 5 people have been confirmed dead. Now, luckily, Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife, was not among those on board. And eyewitnesses that were out there in the area are reporting that they actually heard the helicopter's engine sputtering before it went down. And to see some of the photos and a little bit of the still images that's out there around the incident in question, the accident in question, it's pretty fucking scary. And Kobe had been traveling in a helicopter for years. This goes as far back as to when he was playing for the Lakers. And look, right now, I just want to send nothing but thoughts, prayers, and strength, man, because they really need it right now. And I think we all need to offer it to them. Vanessa, the 4 kids, the 4 young kids there, man. Gianna, Natalia, and Bianca, and their newborn Capri. Good God almighty, man. I mean, that's just fucking sad. And, one of the main reasons why I thought maybe this was a hoax was because we just saw LeBron James pass Kobe Bryant for 3rd place on NBA's all-time scoring list. And if you guys had missed that game, it was pretty cool. It was something that was pretty special. The Los Angeles Lakers, they had went up against the 76ers. It was yesterday, as a matter of fact, this past Saturday. Bryant's hometown, as a matter of fact. So kind of fitting how that all comes full circle. You had about 7 minutes and some change that was left in the 3rd quarter. And James was setting up a layup, and that pretty much had gave him his what is it? I think it's over 644 points or something like that. So that pushed him ahead of Kobe Bryant by just 1 point, and it made him number 3 on the scoring list. So right now he's behind Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's a pretty damn good list to be on, man. Seriously. For me, I thought that because of that, and hearing the news today, I thought maybe some irritated, pissed off fan that just does not like Kobe maybe jumped out there and was trying to put a hoax. But you know what this reminds me of? And, if you're younger and you don't really know your history, in R&B, in Motown and soul music like that, then this is gonna go over your head. But if you are a fan of music of all types, you can appreciate music from any genre, from any era, then I would definitely say go out of your way and research this artist that I'm about to mention. But when I found out what went down with Kobe Bryant, the first thing that I had thought of was, holy shit, this reminds me so much of the way Otis Redding had passed away. And for those of you that don't know anything about Otis Redding, I mean, this guy died years before his time. He tragically passed away at the age of 26, going back December 10th of 1968. He was a phenomenal singer, a superb songwriter. He had a really good keen ear for talent when he was able to hear it. I mean, everything he touched was essentially magic from back in the day. And this guy was really, really popular. I Can't Turn You Loose, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. I'm sure you guys at some point have heard, two of those songs or whatnot. And he had died in a plane crash. And the way this plane crash had came about, you got to rewind it back to 1967. Him and his band, he had some young up and coming artists that he really enjoyed. They were kids. They were called the Barkays, and he loved them tremendously, man, tremendously. And they were supposed to do a show going back to 1967. And they had boarded on Redding's H-18 airplane, his own personal plane. And the main reason why Redding had got his own personal plane was because he did not want to deal with commercial. He wanted to be able to, when he had to go home, okay, I'm going to get in my plane and I'm going to leave the concert. I'm going to go straight home. Doesn't have to worry about, oh, am I going to make my connection in time? He didn't have to worry about any of that crap. Okay. So he had his own personal plane. It was the Beechcraft H-18 airplane. Look that up if you're in the airplanes. So on December 9th, 1967, they had appeared on the Upbeat television show out in Cleveland. They played 3 concerts in 2 nights at a club called Leo's Casino. And shortly after speaking to his wife and his kids, Redding's next stop was Wisconsin. The next day, Sunday, December 10th, they were supposed to play at a Factory nightclub, I think University of Wisconsin. Now, here's where it gets a turn for the worse here. The weather was really bad. A lot of fog, a lot of rain. And he was told, hey, we really don't think you should be traveling now in this type of weather. We think you should go ahead and pump the brakes and reschedule. And Otis did not want to do that because his whole thing was, nah, man, these people, they came out, they're expecting to see us, they're expecting to have a good time. And they were due at that next gig in like a couple hours. I think they were supposed to go on for like a 6, 7, or 8 o'clock show or whatever, right? So despite being warned about the poor weather conditions, he was like, nah, bump this. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go out there. We're going to do this. And yeah, everybody had got taken out from that crash, except for, if I remember right, I think there was only one person that has survived. There was either 1 or 2 people that has survived that plane crash. And one of the people that had survived it, first off, let me tell you, as far as the people that had died, so Otis Redding, 4 members of the Barkays, guitarist Jimmy King, tenor saxophonist Fallon Jones, organist Ronnie Caldwell, and drummer Carl Cunningham, their valet Matthew Kelly, and the pilot Richard Frazier. All of those people had died in there. The only survivor of that accident, that unfortunate accident, was Barcade's member Ben Cauley, the only sole survivor. And at first, he didn't remember what had happened in that plane crash. But then as the years progressed, he shared some of his stories, and it's rare. He talks about it right down to the point. It's he refuses to even go there because that's how traumatic it was. But one of the last interviews that he had gave, he talked about how he heard people that were screaming, begging for help and all of that, right? I'm not trying to get too graphic for you guys, but that's what I had thought about as soon as I had learned more about what had happened with Kobe Bryant. Now, look, it kind of looks like, as far as the weather goes, the weather wasn't as bad as what Otis Redding had experienced and everything, but just the circumstances, right? The whole personal playing usage connection and everything, you guys get and understand why that's what was one of the first things that clicked in my mind. I'm sure for some of you guys, you could think of maybe other more recent incidents involving an athlete or a celebrity, and almost very similar to. That's why for me, I've yet to get on a plane. I don't know about you guys, but I have yet to get on a plane. And I'm actually supposed to be getting married later this year. And there was a period where me and the missus, for a series of months, she was trying her best to twist my arm to get on a plane. And I told her, I said, I'm just not confident. No, I'm freaked out as it is. Every time I turn around, I keep seeing all these airplane and personal helicopter accidents. I'm not interested. And I was like, I need a Xanax or something. No, I'm not interested in getting on a plane. And finally, she met me halfway and she goes, okay, well, look, okay, we don't do a plane. We'll go ahead and drive, but, eventually I think we're going to have to get on a plane. I said, well, if I can have it my way, we'll consider other options, right? But yeah, man, this is sad on so many levels. We are never, as basketball fans, as sports fans, we're never going to recover from this one. We never are. I've seen a lot in my 39 years on this earth, and I got to tell you, if you would have told me that 2020 was going to begin with the death of Kobe Bryant in this fashion, I would say bullshit. Like, what cruel gods? Seriously, right? And not for nothing, but Kobe Bryant was really starting to become a great ambassador for basketball. Not just from the standpoint of basketball, but just as a fucking human being. I mean, everything that, he was doing there. I loved when he hooked up with ESPN and he was doing the ESPN Plus Inside the Mind of Kobe, and he was taking you through key games and everything. I thought that was a phenomenal series that he did. I also remember from last NBA season when they had produced that documentary special, Shaq and Kobe one-on-one, and they basically were talking about their time in the NBA, talking about their time with the Lakers, talking about the supposed beef that had went down. I mean, if you guys never checked that out, you owe it to yourselves to go out of your way and check that out. Yeah, it was eye-opening. There's a lot of things in there that, wow, I never knew, right? And I won't spoil it for you guys, but that was really fucking awesome. And I can only imagine how Shaq, man, Derek Fisher, Richard Fox, Phil Jackson, I can only imagine how all of those guys are feeling right now. Those guys got to be tremendously fucking crushed. And, thoughts and prayers and strength definitely needs to go to all of those guys as well. The documentary that Kobe did that won him a couple of awards, a couple of years back, right? And the timing of that was so perfect too, because you had that stupid idiot that was running around talking about, oh, you basketball players, don't talk about politics, don't talk about this because you guys sound naive and all that, just shut up and dribble or whatever. And, LeBron James, he countered in his own right, but Kobe is the one that kind of really got the ball rolling and everything. And I know there's a lot of debate about LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, as far as, okay, which one of those guys surpassed, Michael Jordan? Which one is the king, right? Is the true successor to Michael Jordan? And I think it's a really awesome debate. But let me tell you something, whether some people want to admit it or not, with the unfortunate passing of Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant, in a weird sense, the fact that he unfortunately went out so young, this even heightens his legacy even more, to the point that he's always going to be mentioned. He's always going to be in that top five heavy rotation now, or at least a top 10 heavy rotation. I say more so top five, because you see everything that he was starting to do outside of basketball, and you couldn't help but say, man, as far as good causes go, as far as philanthropy goes and everything, yeah, Kobe Bryant, he is really going somewhere. He was really, it's very shocking. This is a guy that you didn't hear about him in weed or drug busts or, abusing alcohol. You didn't hear any of that stupid shit. And every single time you saw Kobe, this was a guy that always did his best to be, healthy, fit. He always seemed like he was trying to do his best to pay it forward and everything. And, yeah, you can go back and you can look at that one blemish. And I don't really think people should be talking about it, but the sexual assault allegation, I know you got a couple of dark little clouds in there and everything, but my whole thing is everybody is redeeming and worthy of a second chance in life if they're willing to go out there and they're willing to put in the legwork, no matter how long it takes. They are just truly committed. And all the stuff that had went down with that, it really seemed like it made him mature even more and everything. What he was also able to do for the sport of basketball, essentially, after Jordan had stepped away. You look at guys like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, and they were essentially that 1-2 punch for the NBA. And just from a monopoly standpoint, just from a cash flow standpoint, they really, along with David Stern, while he was still in there as well, what they were able to do and successfully monopolizing, upgrading tremendously the NBA on a more global phenomenon level. Just imagine if we didn't have guys like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and Shaq, a few others, if we didn't have those guys in place, there's no telling what would have been happening there, with the league. Yeah, Jordan came in there. Jordan and Stern, it was a great 1-2 punch. Not to mention you still had Bird and a couple other guys. They came in there and, they put it on that level where, wait a minute, we got some really good marquee names, and they essentially had opened up the floodgates to the Nikes and all of that. Yeah, but it was Kobe, LeBron James, Shaq, it was those guys, Allen Iverson, be here all night just going through all those names, but it was those cats that had really helped propel the NBA to that next level. I think Commissioner Silver has been doing a really great job right now, just from the whole digital marketing standpoint and everything like that. But pause for a second. Isn't that so surreal when you stop and think about it, that before the end of January 2020, not only did we lose Kobe Bryant, but we had lost David Stern. We lost him on January 1st. So how fucking, we begin the month of January, we lose David Stern. And then as we get ready to end the month of January, we lose Kobe Bryant. I'm not liking how 2020 is kicking off. It makes me wonder, who else are we going to tragically be losing before this year is up, right? It's just, and look, we don't need to go over the accomplishments of Kobe Bryant, as far as everything that he's accomplished in basketball. But I mean, if we want to run off the list just to acknowledge those accomplishments, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with him being the 5-time NBA champion? Do you want to start with him being NBA most valuable player, or a 2-time NBA Finals MVP? What about an 18-time NBA All-Star or a 4-time NBA All-Star Game MVP? Do you want to go with a 2-time NBA scoring champion, right? Or do you maybe want to go with a 2-time All NBA third team? Like where do you want to go? Do you want to go with a 9-time NBA All Defensive first team? Where do you want to go? I mean, this man, fucking deadly, ice cold as I don't know what. As I don't know what. As a basketball fan, one of my favorite moments that I had got to see right before he rolled out, because I was born and raised in Chicago. So I grew up as a Bulls fan. So for me, one of the beautiful, cool things that I have finally got to see that my memory could recollect rather, I got to see Kobe Bryant taking on Michael Jordan. And for me, I just felt like a kid at Christmas. It was like, oh my God, two of my all-time, greats. Here they are. They're going at it. Oh man, yes. This is awesome. And for me, it was truly a passing, of the torch, if you will. And I enjoyed. I didn't learn in later years until the other times that they had hooked up, even though it was kind of brief. But for me, I remember the later ones. One of the ones that I remember the most was Kobe Bryant taking on Michael Jordan in the 1998 All-Star Game. Look that one up when you guys get a minute. But that's one of the ones that, I remember. And I'm just speechless right now. I really am. I'm very shocked. I'm seeing what you guys are saying in the chat. I'll show you guys some love before we get ready to wrap it up here. Onoko Pro, rest in peace. Drizzling game, I can't believe it. I looked and looked. Then I found Sports Illustrated and ESPN's posts. I know, shocking, right, dude? Shocking. This hurts. I never had a hero die before. Chris Battle, rest in peace. Kobe Bryant. LeBron James is a crush, yeah. Johnny Storm, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Yes, Johnny. Exactly. Was it the kids too? I heard ESPN reported it was the kids too, though I can't find. It doesn't look like it was the kids. It does not look like, at least as far as the story goes right now. And before we get ready to wrap it up, I can definitely take a look one more time just to make sure that we have the most accurate information. Now, here's something from about 16 minutes ago from USA Today. And let me just skim this real quick for you guys. Not to mention just the phenomenal job that he was doing with his business ventures as well. I mean, just the way he was going. If you want to model yourself, I always look at this as far as basketball players go and everything. When you come into the league and you're making the amount of money that you're making, and look, basketball ain't forever, right? Nothing is forever. So you got to think about that second career after the sports is over and done with, right? All right, so, what are you going to do? How are you going to be set for life? And for me, the one guy I always look at as a template for, hey, you guys that are fortunate enough to be able to be among the elite, you are able to be in the National Basketball Association. And when it comes time for you to think about that second career, post-basketball, model yourself after Magic Johnson. No matter what, I think everybody would be in agreement that as far as an entrepreneur and the business ventures goes, yeah, Magic Johnson is the motherfucking man, right? And so to see how Kobe was modeling himself, right? You see it with LeBron James, you see it with a lot of these guys, right? But Bryant really seemed like he was really, going to that Magic Johnson level, if not maybe even surpass, in my honest opinion. And that is not me being biased in any type of way. But yeah, winning the Oscar for the 2018 short film inspired by that poem he wrote when he retired from basketball. That was some pretty powerful, heavy shit, man. But no, from what I'm seeing right here from USA Today, I am not seeing anything about kids being involved in this. So again, this is still early, right? Obviously, the emergency guys, they got to go in there and, they got to dig out. Okay, can we be real? They got to dig them out, right? Then the unfortunate, God, I'm trying to find the right words to not make it sound so graphic, but obviously they got to do the autopsy, right? So it's through the autopsy, it's through checking dental records. That's how they're going to be able to really find out, okay, who all, we know Kobe was on there though, but okay, everybody else, who is it? But yeah, I didn't hear anything about kids. It looks like the wife and the kids were not on uh, this private helicopter with him. So thank God, seriously, thank God. But I want to leave you guys with this. What does this mean for his estate? Is it clear cut? Is the family really gonna be okay? And the only reason why I'm mentioning that, some of you guys may say, Lee, of course. No, wait. Let's be real. You guys that are under 45, how many of you all actually had sat down and started coming up with a will in case something bad goes down? I'm 39 years old, and I can tell you straight up, I've yet to sit down and think about putting a will together. So I would be really shocked to hear that age 41, Kobe Bryant had some type of a will in place in case something had went down, right? I'd be really shocked to hear that. So I really hope that as far as the estate goes, the business and ventures, ventures and everything, I really hope that the family is truly going to be okay, and it's not going to be a case where other members are. I don't think it's going to get as ugly as what went down with the Prince estate. And the Prince estate got the way that it did because Prince wasn't married. Prince did not have any kids, right? He was trying to work on it, but he did not have any kids. And so once he died, that's why you had everything that you had go down there. But, you would like to believe that with Vanessa and the kids being the sole survivors, that surely it's a clear-cut path as far as all of his business endeavors and the estate itself. But you never know, right? There could be, just kind of going back to the allegation that went down, right? I'm not saying it, but you kind of have to have this in the back of your head and knock on wood and go, hopefully there is no illegitimate kids running around. And there was a mistress, and they try to say, hey, hopefully it doesn't get like that, and the path for the family to control the entire estate is as clear cut, and they are going to be good to go. I really do. For the kids' sake, I really hope everything is going to be okay. Kareem Holloway, I'm at a loss for words. And I like what MWN said perfectly: be safe and cherish life. And I look, as soon as I found out the news, the very first thing that I did afterwards, after I composed myself, and I actually cried a bit. It wasn't tremendous, but I felt the overwhelming sense of depression, and I hadn't felt that sense of depression since the death of Robin Williams. Robin Williams rocked me. And it rocked me I remember for almost a week. I barely ate. I didn't really sleep. I didn't talk to my friends. I wasn't even talking to my girl. I just, once in a while, I get a serious mood swing, a serious state of depression. And the best thing you can do is just let me be. Let me figure it out. Somehow I'll get out of it. And, I started to kind of feel myself almost going there with Kobe because of all of the accomplishments that he's made. He's done, not to make it a race thing, but as an African American, he did our people proud. He really did. He did our people proud. He did the sport of basketball proud. Everything he did, he did his people proud. And sadly, we never really will learn, what he truly was capable of at his maximum peak, because 41, that's pretty damn young, but I remember after I gathered myself, the first thing I did, I picked up my phone, I called my girl, and I asked her, I said, "Are you sitting down?" She said, "Yeah." I'm like, are you sure? She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, you're not driving or anything." She said, "No, I'm good. What's going on?" And I told her, and she was at a loss for words. She's a basketball fan herself. She loved Kobe. She loved Kobe, and I remember before I got off the phone with her, I told her, I said, "Look, I love you. I love you very much. I can't wait till you get home. I'm gonna give you a extra big hug." And then that's to follow up on what MWN said as far as cherishing the life and everything. That loved one that you have right now, man, do yourselves a favor, man. Even if it's a case where maybe you haven't, spoke to that loved one in a good while, right? Maybe you got an estranged relationship or whatever like that. Reach that phone or what have you, Skype, however you do it. Just reach out. Hey man, just thinking about you. Just want to say, love you very much. Yeah, and if they're within your arms reach and you can hug them and you can kiss them, go there. Fucking go there, because life is precious. Nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. As the case of what went down with Kobe Bryant, and I always say this on the show, tomorrow is promised to no one. The fact that you are able to wake up and see another sunrise, live to see another sunset, you're not owed that. That's something that a lot of people really take for granted. So try to do your best to live life to its fullest. And yeah, tomorrow's not guaranteed. It's not. It's just not. So that's going to do it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap this up for now. And you guys can continue to chime in your thoughts. Some of, maybe some of your favorite memories of Kobe Bryant, some of your favorite games. Yeah, I'd like to, let's try to make this be more of if we can. I mean, it's easier said than done, but let's see if we can make this be a celebration of his life and talking about some of our fondest moments from his career. And I'll definitely follow up on what you all have to say on the show this week. So for our longtime subscribers, just a friendly reminder, somehow in the next couple of hours, we've got to switch gears and we've got to talk about the WWE Royal Rumble. So there will be a Royal Rumble post show. You guys will be able to see me in the flesh. Hopefully I'll be all right. I think I'll be good to go by then. We'll try to take you all's mind off of this the best way we can, covering that pay-per-view event. So I don't know exactly what time the Royal Rumble is going to be going off, but as soon as it wraps up, just hop on YouTube. And also, we're going to open up the phone line. So if you guys want to call in and let me know what you thought about the pay-per-view, you can do that. Just check out the episode description here. There is a link to my Discord channel, or if you got Twitter, give me a follow over there on Twitter. I got the link to the Discord in my profile. Discord, it's free to join up. You don't have to pay anything. You don't got to worry about no Trojans or anything like that. But yeah, you're able to join our Discord. And when you listen to the show live on YouTube, just wait for the cue, as I'll be bringing in people to come on live with me to talk about the pay-per-view from the Discord channel. So, but yeah, get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, mainly the Twitter. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. And yeah, that is going to do it. Once again, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, the Black Mamba. Shockingly. Whew, can't believe it's still surreal. Kobe Bryant did at 41. Shockingly, after his private plane crashed in California. Rest in peace, Black Mamba. Ain't going to be another one like you. That is for damn sure. Much love, everybody. Take care.